Yes. I'm excited. I'm back. Let's do it. Let's get it rocking. My name is Michael DeLu, and you're now tuned into the Pull Up the Tape podcast. I'm really excited because I have a great show planned for today. Got a lot of politics to get into. And before I get into any of that stuff, I want to ask that if you are listening to this podcast for the first time, please please share this podcast with anybody that you know, any of your teammates, any of your coaches, your mom, your dad, your brother, your cousin, anybody that you know that likes sports, share this with them. And if you're watching this for the very first time on my YouTube channel, please like, comment, and subscribe and help me get to where I'm trying to go, which is the very, very top. I think I'm talented enough to get there. Well, not think. I know I'm talented enough to get there. I want to be at the very top of the game. And every single day, it's a grind, one step closer to where I'm trying to go. And I want to thank everybody who's supporting me right now. I'm not getting the most views right now, but I don't care because I just love doing this. So I'm going to continue to keep doing it and doing it and doing it and doing it until I get to where I'm trying to go. So with that being said, the first thing I want to talk about today is UFC Fight Night that took place in Jacksonville, Florida. Go Jags. Can you see this in the camera? Feel me? Boom. Y'all see it? Y'all see what's going on? See what's going on? Y'all see what's going on? Y'all see what's going on? For those of you who are listening to podcasts, I just pointed at the foam shield of the Jacksonville Jaguars logo that I have in my studio. So, very good. I don't know if I can say very good card. Obviously, 249 was much better, but I mean it was a decent card, I guess at best. I'm just gonna jump right into the main event and the co-main event. So, Glover Teixeira versus Anthony Smith honestly did not go as expected, like at all for me. Like I was honestly shocked by the end product of the fight. So, round one, I thought Anthony Smith was just on a different level. And from what I've seen in the first 5 minutes, he just looked like he improved in every single aspect of his as a fighter. Not even just like slightly improved, but drastically improved. And then I just thought, okay, he's going to win this fight easily. This is the best honestly, I've never seen him look this good, seen him that sharp, precise, clean shots, precise, clean kicks, just everything. Like he was just dominating the first 5 minutes. Round two, the next 5 minutes were, I mean, he still was winning the fight, but it was a lot closer than the first round. And then in round three, Anthony Smith got hit with a cold piece. Like he got hit with a jab to the eye. And honestly, it was over from there. Like after that, Glover Teixeira beat him like he stole something from him, like he tried to break into the wrong house. And honestly, Glover Teixeira made Anthony Smith his son for that night. Bro, he got his damn teeth knocked out of his mouth. And honestly, I think that third round was probably a 10-8 round. Like, I don't from that point, from when he hit him with that jab, that Teixeira, he didn't complain about it. Because the low-key looked like it could have been an eye poke. From when he got hit with that jab, the fight was never the same. And honestly, Teixeira just beat him down. He got on top of him. Honestly, a lot of people can argue, and I've seen it on Twitter, a lot of people just saying, yo, that fight should have been stopped earlier or X, Y, and Z. But for the most part, even though Anthony Smith did get beat down, he did defend himself as long as possible, considering how badly beaten and bruised he was. Anyways, I want to quickly pass over that fight because it's not really much to talk about. Teixeira beat him down. Like nobody really gave that dude a chance to win, considering Anthony Smith was on a win streak and he had beaten some elite dudes and he had looked very, very good in most of his recent fights. But yesterday wasn't his night, and I don't know. Maybe it was because of his fake teeth or what. But I just don't even understand why somebody would think to get fake teeth during the middle of their UFC career. Like, bro, you know when somebody hits you in your mouth, like the chances of those falling are pretty high because they're not your teeth. You know that, right? So I don't know what he was thinking or what's going on with him, but it's not looking too good for him. I'm not too sure. I don't even know where he goes from here because he really got dominated, like really, really bad. So not too sure what's gonna happen or what's the most logical fight for him because he's not getting a title shot. I don't want to see him fight. I don't want to see him. I don't even want to see Teixeira fight John Jones. And Teixeira looked great yesterday. No, not yesterday. On Wednesday. So it's like I don't really know what's next for both of them. Especially Anthony Smith because he's gonna take a hit for this one. So let me get to the next fight, which was also a dud, low key. Ben Rothwell versus Ovince St. Preux. Co-main event UFC Jacksonville, Florida. Smith versus Teixeira. This fight, unlike the first one, unlike the main event, was actually a very close fight. It was a little disappointing from both sides, especially St. Preux, because for a good amount of the fight, Ben Rothwell just put his body on him and just tried to wear him down standing up on the cage, and it was kind of like boring. Like it was a very boring fight. Like Ben Rothwell controlled most of the fight. I mean, St. Preux had his moments in the fight where, he put that blicky to Rothwell's face, like in the second round where he hit him like towards the end, he hit him with a banger. Like that was a very big moment in the fight. But that's that, and then probably the end of the third where they started exchanging in the middle of the ring, and Rothwell got dropped, but was literally saved by the bell, or might have got hit with the punch after the bell, like literally like the second after or something like that. But St. Preux had his moments in the fight where he looked like the aggressor, but for the most part, man, St. Preux he did a lot of backing away and just, I don't know. I wasn't really rocking with it. It just, at some points he turned his back and was running away, not running away, but retreating. So I don't know. I wasn't really a fan of that. I mean, it was a decent fight, I guess. And the way Ben Rothwell fights was just a little too odd. No, not the way Rothwell fought. The way St. Preux fought just was a little odd to me. Like he wasn't headhunting. Seemed to want to keep the distance and not want to mix it up with Rothwell until the very end, which just wasn't what I was expecting. And just backing away and retreating, like I said, a good amount of the fight, as if he was waiting for Ben Rothwell to like slow down or something. Like, but I mean, I don't know. I've never really seen Ben Rothwell get tired in most of his fights. Like for a heavyweight, he's very conditioned and is in tip top shape. And honestly, I'm gonna say this right now. Ben Rothwell is probably the most boring fighter in the UFC. Jesus, he shouldn't be on the main card anymore. Like, anymore. Too boring. All he tries to do is wear down his opponents, tire them out, or putting his body on top of them and just beating up on them. It's just not fun, not entertaining to watch. It's just not. I guess it works for him because he wins fights and stuff like that using that, but I mean, as a viewer and a fan of the UFC, I don't want to see that. It's boring, 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 boring. Like a college class, like a lecture class, boring. For me, yeah, those of you who did go to college know how boring those are. So, decent card. I think there's another UFC event this Saturday. I'm not sure off the top of my head. So, we'll see how that turns out. So, my next topic, I'm going to be discussing Dakota Prescott. For those of you who don't know, that's Dak's full name, Dakota. So, Joe Theismann, quarterback for the Washington Redskins in the 70s and the 80s, had some words about Dak Prescott this week on CBS Sports. So, he said, if I was advising Dak, I would take the money. What are you looking for? Another couple million? You're never going to see that last year of this contract anyways. You're not a top 5 quarterback in the National Football League. You're a good football player. You have the potential to be better, but what have you done? Thank you. Thank you. Damn. For preaching to the damn choir. Look. I agree with Joe Theismann for so many reasons. All right? For so many reasons. All right, and I'm going to get this out there first. I'm going to get these figures out here first before I just start politicking on Dak's pockets or anything like that. According to Mike Fisher, who's been all over this contract situation since it started, it's been reported that the best offer that the Cowboys have offered Dak is $35 million a year, $110 million guaranteed for 5 years. But the issue is the length of the contract, and Dak wants 4, but the Cowboys want 5. First of all, Dak, $35 million a year puts you with getting paid with the elite cream of the crop. Talking about Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Drew Brees, Matt Ryan, Big Ben, Russell Wilson. All guys he's not better than. But if he accepts this contract, he'll get paid more than these dudes. But he doesn't want to for an extra year. Interesting. If I wanted to throw some dudes in who are on their rookie contracts just like he is and looking to get big deals, Deshaun Watson, he's not better than him. Patrick Mahomes, he's not better than him. I don't get it. Like, how are you being offered this money and you're not taking it? Who the hell is advising you? A toaster? Come on, bro. Like, nobody else is honestly going to give you this type of money. So the idea, the fact that he hasn't accepted this money is honestly bonkers to me. It just really doesn't make sense. Like, every single day that this goes on, I try to convince myself, like, I try to ask myself or search for any logical reason why somebody who is not that good wouldn't sign a contract to be paid like he is that good. It doesn't really make sense to me. I try to understand it, but it doesn't make sense to me at all. I'm gonna run through the names again. Drew Brees, not better than. Tom Brady, not better than. Matt Ryan, not better than. Big Ben, not better than. Should I even throw in Phillip Rivers in there? Not better than. Russell Wilson, not better than. Patrick Mahomes, he's not better than him. Deshaun Watson, he's not better than him either. I don't know. I mean, can I keep going? Let's think. Jimmy G, maybe. The thing is, oh my gosh. The thing is, honestly, if I was the Cowboys, I personally would just like be over it. Because, like, first of all, they've already signed a competent backup. And honestly, the sample size is just so great. We've all seen, like, if you pay your quarterback X amount of money, you're decreasing your chances of even winning a Super Bowl. The more you have to pay your quarterback, the worse the team is that you can build around him because he's consuming so much money. Dak is not worth that kind of money. Patrick Mahomes is. Deshaun Watson, maybe. But Dak, you're not worth that bread. So to think that he's flirting with it, just like it just at what point is Dak willing to continue to gamble with his football career? Not like he's like he's not gonna have a job or anything like that. But like, all it takes is a couple bad games here and there, which the Cowboys do have some, like, condensed in the middle of the season. Week 8 against the Eagles. Week 9 against the Steelers. Week 11 against the Vikings. Week 13 against the Ravens. Week 15 against the Niners. If Dak plays bad in any of these games or they're consistently losing, like, he's getting pulled. And it's just I understand push comes to shove, but at what point is this just getting out of hand? Bruh. You're making $2 million a year. No, actually not even $2 million. 1.5, 1.6, 1.4. Last year you made 2. And now you're being offered X amount of money and you're not rocking with it to get paid like a leader of your position, which you are not. It's like a company wanting to pay me like $300,000 when in reality I'm probably like a $50,000. Like the effort I put out, it's probably worth about $50,000. But they're willing to pay me $300,000. But I'm just like, I don't know. I'm not really rocking with this. Nah, I can't. I'm gonna have to think about it. You know how goofy that sounds, and I would look. Come on, bro. Oh my god. I hope Dak signs this contract soon because honestly, if he doesn't sign and doesn't want to play under the tender and doesn't report to camp or doesn't report for the season, honestly, the Cowboys are not tripping. They have Andy Dalton. I'm not saying he's the best quarterback, but he's decent. He's competent. He's been to playoffs. I was going to say he has a better playoff record than Dak, but that's not true. He's played in more playoff games than Dak. He still hasn't won one. I mean, shout out to Marvin Lewis for that one, but yeah. Interesting situation that the Cowboys have on their hands. I don't know when or if he's ever going to sign because the deadline is July 15th, so we'll see if there's still some time. There's still a lot of time. I hope he comes to his senses, just sign the deal, or play on the tender. I don't know, whatever you choose. But bro, get in there and don't lose your job because let's not act like you're irreplaceable. Come on, first of all, everybody's replaceable. Ask Drew Bledsoe. So that's my take on that. So also earlier this week, on IG Live, Steph Curry, who has been on IG Live a lot and been actually on social media a lot, very interactive, interviewing players, interactive games, trivia games, and I've seen a bunch of these. I've seen a couple of these done. I think I've seen a couple of interviews that he's done as well. So he was on IG Live with Jermaine O'Neal, a teammate of his for the 2013-2014 season, which is actually the last season they played, which was the season before they won their first championship, and the season where they got eliminated out of the first round of the playoffs by the Clippers in 7 games because Andrew Bogut, their starting center, was hurt. He told him that for us, we know we're not done. Myself, Clay, Draymond, no, we're not done. The core that has been here since day one, we're going to do everything that we got in our power. It's going to look different. It's going to have a new cast of characters that are going to contribute at a high level. But the DNA, just the chemistry we have, we're going to be in good shape coming out of this no matter how basketball looks. Pretty much telling the rest of the league, hey, yo, down year, we coming back next year at y'all next. And honestly, I do think the Warriors will be striking fear in a lot of teams. First of all, the biggest thing is the Warriors have a lottery pick this year. Anthony Edwards, Wiseman, Obi Toppin, because they already said they're not interested in getting LaMelo Ball. So, if they get any of these front court players, it's ugly. It's going to get ugly. And who knows what's going to happen? Who knows who they can sign in free agency this offseason when it finally does happen to propel them to get to that, or even sign a trade like they did for D'Lo, whatever, because we know those things are really popular now. But honestly, Steph healthy, Clay healthy, they can win a championship. Just those two dudes healthy, they can win a championship. That's the reason why that's the reason why they won, and that's the reason why they won their first championship to begin with. That's the reason why they won 72 games to begin with. Steph shooting and Clay shooting. If you want to add some of the young pieces they have right now. Pascal. I don't know if I said his name correctly. Lottery pick, Draymond. They're already better than the Rockets right there, depending on who they get with this lottery pick. And honestly, like I was saying in a podcast earlier, I can't remember how long ago it was. We never know how the landscape of the league is going to look a year from now, because a year is a long time, especially in basketball where there's so many interchanging parts and pieces. They come in and out of doors, and like I said, you don't know who they're going to sign. You don't know who they're going to draft. We don't know how a lot of teams are going to look this time next year, because, like I said in the same podcast, this time last year we didn't think Paul George was going to be on the Clippers. Didn't even think Kawhi was going to be on the Clippers. Didn't think Russell Westbrook was going to be on the Rockets. A lot can happen. Didn't think Kyrie was going to be on the Nets. So, a lot can happen in a year, but I do honestly believe everything Steph's saying. As long as they have himself and Clay and Draymond, they can win another chip. I was a firm believer that they didn't need. I mean, obviously, signing KD put them over the top and made them invincible, but I do think they could still play elite level championship basketball without that man on that roster, and I think they're going to do that next season. The Warriors have a very good front office. They're going to sign the right role players. They're going to maximize. They might even trade the pick they might even use the pick in a trade for a quality piece that they could turn into a 20-point per game scorer. I don't know. They get that over with. They don't even need like a player like, obviously not a player like Kevin Durant. Like anybody who could score 15 to 20, shit. Even like somebody like, if they get Paul Millsap or something, championship. Shit. But anyways, one of the second to the last thing I want to talk about is blackballed. So the Clippers have a documentary coming out in May 18th, and it's centered around the events that took place in 2014, like I was just talking about earlier, in just a couple minutes ago. And it tells a story about race, power, through the eyes of the LA Clippers and their coaches. So when the tape surfaced of, at the time, the team owner of Donald Sterling, going crazy, racial, whatever, N-word this, N-word that, it set into motion a couple of events that changed the NBA landscape forever, and sports, to be honest. Because what he did was not low-key, but you wouldn't expect that to happen. You wouldn't expect the owner of a team that has X amount of black players to feel that way about black people. Not that he's the only one or anything like that, because I feel like racism is not racism. I feel like I started right there, but racism is a very big deal. Racism is just still rampant in this country, whether it's on the DL or whether it's blatantly in your face, because I've been subject to it as recently as 2016, where somebody told me to go to the back of the line when I was just asking for the bathroom key to use the restroom at Del Taco. To just, I don't know. We all remember what the MAGA rallies were like for people who weren't Trump supporters. They were getting spit on, punched, X, Y, and Z. So that is coming out May 18th. And Chris Paul, DeAndre Jordan, JJ Redick, Doc Rivers, NBA Commissioner, Stephen A. Smith. I've seen a bunch of celebrities in it and a bunch of high-profile figures in it, just talking about the events that transpired. I don't think it's going to be as good as The Last Dance or Project 11, but I am looking forward to watching it. Really excited about it. Not really excited, but, obviously, just being able to watch anything, any new sports content of any sort I'm into, I like, to be honest. So I'm looking forward to that. May 18th, I'm going to check that out. It's going to be released in spurts, just like the way Last Dance was. A couple episodes. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to watch it the day it comes out, give you guys my take on it, my reaction, and really look forward to hearing it, watching it, all the above, critiquing it. And the last thing I want to get into is Bundesliga soccer is returning tomorrow. Okay, today's May 15th. Tomorrow's May 16th. Can't wait. I would read you guys all the messages that are taking place, but I don't know how to pronounce some of these teams. And because they're German, and I actually have never watched some of these teams play. But yeah, I'm really excited because this is going to be my first time actually watching the Bundesliga. I usually don't watch the Bundesliga. I usually watch the Premier League because it's always on NBC, and the team I support plays in that league. And I don't really like the German league because, it's kind of top heavy. Besides Dortmund and Bayern, yeah, drop off of talent is pretty bad. But given today's climate, I need to watch sports. I need something. UFC's back. I'm watching that. So I love soccer. So I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have a good time watching it. Just need to see goals. I don't care if there's no crowd or anything like that. I just need to see players playing high level European soccer. I can't wait. I will critique all the matches, watch all the highlights, watch as many games as I can, and I'll get back to you on how that went down. I'm really looking forward to it. Slowly but surely, sports are coming back. Even the NBA is discussing all the different possibilities it's going to take for them to come back and stuff like that. So we'll see. We'll continue to see how this stuff continues to play out. This is the end of the podcast. I want to thank everybody for watching. Like I said earlier when I first started, if you're listening to this podcast, share this with your cousin, mom, dad, brother, sister, teammate, coach, somebody you don't like, somebody you do like, anybody that loves sports. And if you're watching this video on my channel for the first time, like, comment, subscribe, help me get to where I'm trying to go. Thank you very much for your help, support. Love you guys all. Bow, Favi, movie. Let's get it.